week, we are going to be breaking money myths together. Not just any money myths, but money myths that could have been attached to you for a very long time. Oftentimes when I'm having conversations with people, they start to regurgitate all these beliefs and myths and stories that other people have told them that they have started to take on as their own. And so what happens is I'm sitting in my office looking at someone who is a grown, able-bodied, working adult who has lots of talents and skills, and yet because of these limiting beliefs, they don't believe that what they desire is possible for them. So a few myths that I want to bring to this conversation are designed to kind of get you to thinking and encourage you to not only listen to the myths that I bring to today's conversation, but also prompt you to think about other myths that you may be holding on to that no longer serve you in your current season. The first one is you have to work hard for your money. Now, this is a very, very common belief that people have, and I call it a money myth. It's a myth because we have plenty of examples where people are not working very hard, physically hard, and yet still they're receiving money. And we also have plenty of examples where people are working very, very hard, doing hard, laborious work, and they're still not wealthy or rich or abundant financially. So when you think about the myth that you have to work hard to be rich, wealthy, abundant, and prosperous, I want to set the tone there and say, hold on, I've seen both sides of the coin where that's not necessarily true. And as we set that tone, I also want to invite you to think about the fact that you're not supposed to be working hard for your money. Your money is supposed to be working hard for you. Most people are tied to exchanging time for money, and that puts you in a place of limitation because there are only 24 hours in a day. But what would happen if you decided to shift your mindset, break free of that belief that says you have to work hard for money, and say, you know what? I've worked for my money. Now I want my money to work hard for me. And that's where investing comes into play. Now, in today's conversation, I'm not going to tell you about the different types of investments that are available. That's not my goal here. My goal is to help you examine that belief, see where it's popping up for you, and then expand your mindset to say, you know what? I don't necessarily have to work hard for my money. There are other ways that I can attain wealth, riches, and abundance, and that is by having my money make money for me. So that's the first limiting belief or money myth that I like to address. The second money myth that I like to address today is that it's not the right time. The economy is not right. There's so much going on. Interest rates are too high. Prices are too high. I want to point that out as a myth because we're sitting here in 2025 now, but I guarantee you, if you ask someone who purchased their home in 1973 or 1980, at that point in time, they thought or they felt as though the purchase price for their home was a lot of money. They felt as though the purchase price for whatever investment or starting their business or buying a business was a lot of money. It wasn't until 10, 15, 20 years down the line that they were able to look back in hindsight and then say, oh, I made a good decision because that what I thought was a lot of money or a wrong time 10 years ago is now the right time. And so what I really want you to do is understand that the myth of waiting for the perfect time stems from a space of not being aware of the process of evolution. Right? And so the process of evolution means everything around us is always changing. Everything around us is always growing. Everything around us is always evolving. And when you find yourself saying it's not the right time, what you're doing is you are looking at life as a snapshot in time and saying, whoa, my gosh, this thing costs $100,000 right now, and $100,000 is a lot of money right now, but you're not looking at it as a movie and understanding that because of the natural cost of inflation, of the process of inflation. Costs of goods and services going up. $100,000 today is not going to be worth the same $100,000 in 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. So when you're making a decision and you're buying into the limiting belief that it's not the right time, the economy says it's not the right time, there are so many factors that says it's not the right time, I want you to take that as an opportunity to invite yourself to zoom out and say, hold on, am I looking at life as a snapshot, or am I realizing and reminding myself that life is a moving picture? And while something may seem expensive today, down the line, it's going to feel like a bargain. Something else that I want you to remember as it relates to the myth that it's not the right time is that there could be some procrastination trauma that's creeping up. A lot of times we don't realize that we procrastinate out of fear of failure. We procrastinate out of fear of not being enough. We procrastinate because that's what we've been used to doing. And so when there is an opportunity for financial growth, when there is an opportunity to take a new job, when there's an opportunity to start the life of your dreams, when there is an opportunity to make an investment, we start procrastinating. And I want you to ask yourself, where does that procrastination come from? That ties into the belief that it's not the right time. But if you really think about it, when will it ever be the right time? I'm a firm believer that the right time is now. There is no better time than now. The third myth that I want to bust today is that money does not grow on trees. Absolutely, money does grow on trees. You just got to figure out if you have the tree, if you have the seeds, and what kind of trees you have. So the myth that money doesn't grow on trees puts you in a limiting place of thinking that whatever money you have is all the money that you're going to have, and that it's going to be difficult for you to go outside and get more money. It's not as easy as walking outside and picking a piece of fruit off of a tree. If you explore this myth and then say, going back to the previous myth where I talked about using money to make more money for you, then that should encourage you to think about, is it that money doesn't grow on trees, or maybe I don't have any trees? Do I have little money trees running around? Do I have investment accounts running around? Do I have real estate running around? Do I have businesses? Do I have sources of passive income that serve as trees that produce money for me, right? And so thinking about the money doesn't grow on trees, one of my favorite things to remind my clients is that everything in life is a seed. Everything is a seed. Every opportunity is a seed. Every conversation is a seed. Every challenge is a seed. If you stop labeling it and look at it as a seed, then I want you to actually get a visualization of a seed. If you stop labeling the thing and attaching an emotion to the thing and visualize the seed, I want you to then ask yourself, with this seed of change of circumstance, with this seed of opportunity, with this seed of something that I have experienced that I may not like, what am I going to do with this seed? You always have a choice. You have a choice to take that seed, which is the experience, the moment, whatever is happening, and bury that seed in the ground and then nurture it, water it, allow it to sprout up and grow into a beautiful tree. Or you have the option to take that seed and put it in your drawer. Or you have the option to take that seed and throw it in the trash. The exercise that I want to leave you with on this video is to write down 5 limiting beliefs. Don't ask anybody about these limiting beliefs. Don't Google any limiting beliefs. Just write down 5 limiting beliefs that are personal to you. And you will know that they are limiting beliefs because as you think about them, as they come to mind, you will feel a little tingling sensation in your body. Your heart may drop a little bit. It may feel a little heaviness in your body. And then you may want to escape and not think about it anymore. That's how you know it's a limiting belief. When you write down the 5 limiting beliefs, I want you to then take some time to reframe them. Reframe them into powerful statements. And you're going to do that by asking yourself one simple question. Is this true for everyone on the planet? Not everyone in your household, not everyone in your circle. Is this true for everyone on the planet? And when you come up with the answer, and if the answer is no, I want you to know that if it's not true for everyone on the planet, then it could never be true for you. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, Hyacinth Henderson here, just popping in to remind you that any information shared is information and education and not personal investing advice. Personal investing advice should be specific to you, and therefore you should seek proper financial counsel for personal financial advice. Thank you.